watch a lot of football all over the world. England Premier League is the best league in the world. So it's not overrated. The players are overworked. Easy as that.
That is really, really, really tough for ourselves, but especially for the players.
We played off our 20% of our potential.
The Premier League is commonly acknowledged as the best league in the world. Its high level of competition sees top clubs consistently push each other, resulting in thrilling and unpredictable matches.
Balotelli, Aguero! As far as Nelson has to get his shot right.
However, Manchester City might be turning it into a big farmer league. If they win it this year, it will be their 6th time in 7 years. Furthermore, it attracts top-tier players like Haaland and Mo Salah and managers from all around the world, enriching its quality and appeal. Its global popularity and extensive broadcasting coverage further cement its position as the most watched football league worldwide. However, this year there are no remaining English teams in European competitions, and they are ranked 3rd in the UEFA country rankings. Just a few years back, English teams dominated European competitions, with all 4 finalists in the 2018-19 season in the Champions League and Europa League coming from England. However, today's landscape tells a different story. Among the 8 teams that participated in Europe this season were Newcastle and Manchester United. Newcastle, making their first Champions League appearance in 2 decades, encountered formidable opponents, the challenging Group of Death. Meanwhile, Manchester United ended their campaign below teams such as Galatasaray and Copenhagen.
And there is the full-time whistle, and Manchester United's elimination from Europe is confirmed, and there are boos at full-time. It's another problem for Erik ten Hag. Champions League disaster.
Manchester City and Arsenal, regarded as England's top 2 teams currently, both exited the tournament in the quarter-finals. West Ham, competing in the Europa League, were eliminated in the quarter-finals by Bayern Leverkusen. Aston Villa, set to represent England in the Champions League next year, suffered a defeat to Greek side Olympiacos in the UEFA Conference League. Brighton were knocked out by Roma in the round of 16 of the Europa League, and Klopp, who was meant to be going out on a quadruple, has ended up with just an energy drink cup to his name after being knocked out by Atlanta in the quarter-finals. This is what Klopp has to say about the debate.
I watch a lot of football all over the world. England Premier League is the best league in the world. So it's not overrated. The players are overworked. Easy as that. City and Arsenal, that they're out in the quarterfinals, it's just not a reflection. That we are out in the quarterfinals is just not a real reflection of quality. It's just a reflection of we couldn't deliver on the day we had to. Yes, in other countries have really good teams, no doubt about that. But it's a sign. And years ago, I think we had 4 English teams in quarterfinals and stuff like that. And then we take that and say, it's the quality of the Premier League and let's make more of it. But you have to change that approach.
Before we get into the next part of the video, if you've gained new insights, we would greatly appreciate your support by subscribing to the channel. The Premier League demands everything from its teams, with its tight schedule and additional domestic trophies like Carabao Cup and FA Cup leading to exhaustion. English clubs hardly have any breathing room between league games, cup competitions and European tournaments. In contrast to other countries like Spain and Germany, where teams enjoy a winter break for essential recovery, the Premier League offers no respite even during the Christmas period.
But it's really, really tough. Finish the season, and in 3 weeks, you have to restart again, go to Asia, so go to States or whatever. That is really, really, really tough for ourselves, but especially for the players. And this, I think, should change. This is my point. But how you change when you finish the season, you go 50 or 20 days, to States to play another competition. This is the problem.
This results in a season that is physically and mentally more demanding than any other European league. The consequence is evident. Injury rates in the Premier League surpass those in other top leagues, leading to key players missing out during crucial moments.
So imagine we had many more players available and that we had not so many setbacks in injuries. It could have been easily 70 or 75 wins.
Consequently, when teams such as Manchester City, Arsenal or Liverpool have to compete without their best players, it's unsurprising that they struggle to keep pace in European competitions. For instance, during the Europa League round of 16 match between Brighton and Roma, Brighton had 10 players sidelined due to injuries caused by their congested fixture list. whereas Roma had only one player injured in their entire squad.
I know we played off our 20% of our potential. Anyway, with a lot of injuries.
This stark contrast highlights the toll that such tightly packed schedules are taking on English team squads. If you believe the Premier League is the top league globally, share your thoughts down below. Do you favour Serie A, La Liga or Bundesliga? And if you found this video enjoyable, why not check out another? And as always, see you on the next one.